Hello and welcome to Where Wendy Creates, Where Wendy Travels. Today I wanted to invite you along when I do a little bit of tea and coffee staining on some different papers that I have. I have brought out with me tags because I like to have them in the journals, whether I write on them, cover them up, or otherwise. I want to age those, age the strings they come with. I also have some sticker sheets, and I thought it would be fun to go ahead and age those papers as well. And then I have a different arrangement of different sheets that I thought it would be nice. I use these as my to-do sheets, as well as these old price receipts and different kind of textured papers. Regular lined paper, some index cards, as well as I thought I'd try some envelopes. Now these are the no see-through, but I thought they would age up real nice. I'll probably cut these in half and use those in the journals. And some regular typing paper. So what I have with me, so we can play with today, is some different tea bags, some espresso, as well as some spiced tea. And in here, I already have two of my tea bags because I love strong tea. And let's go ahead and get started. Of course, I do have a tray that I like to work inside of when I'm working on the different projects, just for easy cleanup. Of course, just plain aluminum pan, any size will do. This is what I had on hand, and it works out perfectly because it contains everything in one nice little mess. And of course, I have the bottom of the mug to make the tea stains there as well. So we're going to start out, and I can just pour some of this on there. Use as much or as little water as you like. It does take some time, and I do like to work with this outside so I can hang it up and put it down and let it dry outside so I don't have all the humidity in the house or the mess in the house to clean up with. And as much water as you want to use in this, as much aging and tea as you like to use. And of course, with these sheets, if you use just a tiny bit of the espresso coffee grounds, any kind of coffee grounds will actually do, any kind of tea bags will do, whether it's loose tea or bag tea, and just add some of those beautiful spots on here, make them darker, lighter. And you can also gain that with the different textures on the pans, whether you want to use plates, just the plain table. Oftentimes, if I don't have one of these aluminum trays and I'm eager to get my work done, I'll go ahead and put down a plastic tablecloth on the table. And that way I work directly on that surface, usually still outside, so it's easy cleanup. And when I'm happy with what that page looks like, I set it aside to dry. So we're going to set a bunch of these all over the table. They do pull up very nicely. And let's do another one here with some tea. Get that nice and wet inside. And then, of course, I like my tea rings. And when you set a cup there long enough, it does go ahead and make those circles for us. So that turns out very beautiful. As you'll see, I'll be setting that teacup on my pages as they start to dry. And that will give them some beautiful bold circles as well. And again, every time you work with this, it's a different experiment. So however you like to play, however grungy you like, however solid you like, however wet you like. And I do work with different coffees, different teas, different thicknesses. This time I poured myself a cup and just thought that I would start working with that. All right, so let's grab the stickers. And I haven't done stickers before, but they should be able to age just like everything else ages. Oh, I like those spots. And we're gonna add in some of those grounds. Now when it dries, most of these grounds come off, but again, the grounds that stay on just add a little bit more body, texture, aging, so I like those a lot. We're gonna go ahead and play with a little bit more in here, get it a little bit bolder as we pour more liquid in. Soak that up, mix it around. And again, it does age it very nicely. Because with the aging process, what you're trying to do is just pretty much get an even all the way across that manila, soft brown, tan texture and color. These often take an hour outside. Today it's a little bit windy. It may take a little less than that to go ahead and dry. And this is just another one of my typing papers. I'm going to use more of the darker grounds to start with. Throw some more tea in here. Just get that covered up. And I don't cover everything as we go, you'll see. I really love that dripped look, so I don't find it necessary to go ahead and make all of them as evenly coated. Such as, if we're going to take it, I love that smell. And we can just drip some on. And some of these dripped pages, if you tip it in the water, you're going to have the different runnings as well. Oftentimes when we are writing, drawing, we like our coffees or sodas, our teas next to us, and they often get those coated little circles. So it's really nice to go ahead and use all those papers and don't let anything go to waste. All right, let's get one of our thicker papers out, or better yet, let's go ahead and start with some of our fun. I'm not sure how long we've been playing at this so far, but we're going to take them at different stages and let them dry out. Different ring shapes. And if the wind really kicks up here, because it is supposed to get windier, I may go chasing some of these papers. So if I go off screen for a second, it's probably because the wind took them. And again, just by using my favorite little coffee mug, we get those beautiful little looks. And you will notice I definitely did not paint my nails or do any of that, because you do get really gross. So I do apologize. That is coffee under my nails. And we're going to take one of the thicker, as you can see, it's a little bit more manila color, and we're going to stain that up nice as well. Let's take some of the drips, and then maybe on the back of this, I'm going to coat it pretty well. So let me get that in there. And before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I do like to get the tags completely done. So I'm pouring more tea in here than normal, because I like to get my tags in the bulk of it on the bottom so they can be soaking it up the longest. They'll get just a little bit darker. And the strings, they do as well. So the whole piece is going to get that aged look. And again, what I have the espresso on, the little black specks, some of that's going to fall off when it dries, and some of it's going to stick on, be a nice little texture for any painting that I do. We're going to set that right there behind me and get a couple more pages in here so we can get on with our fun. And again, it's not a whole lot of work. It's just the longer you have it in the tea, or the stronger you have the tea, the more aged look you're going to have. And again, it's not always the aged look I'm looking for. I like the grunge. So we're going to have some grunge look. And don't tell my husband I'm putting this all over his banister. Hi, honey. All right. And I think I'm going to have to make myself another cup of tea. I'm going to set that out here on those stickers too. Get a little more going again, let them set in there as long as you like, or as short a time as you like. Probably 5 minutes. They have been fully exposed. You're not going to get them any darker than what you would have in 5 minutes. So, and I'll show you these. I do have another stack that I made since I've journaled last, or made a new journal. So you can see that whole stack as well in an upcoming video. Also have the index cards. We're going to go ahead and pop those in there, start getting those darker. Let's we'll waste that cup of tea and just make it real dark for us. How's that? Get really yummy in there. All right. Couple more rings, shall we? And I don't always use the solid grounds, but the last ones I have, as you'll see, they don't have as many of the specs, and I really miss that. That's why we're going to do that now. And again, 90% of those are going to come off when they dry, but I'm going to have that beautiful 10% that covers that. And I have the leaves coming down all around me. Go ahead and get the rest of the tags in this liquid as well. Or like I sometimes do, since I've already said I'm not going to finish this cup of tea because it looks like I'm going to use it all. Put my tags in there and just let them soak. And again, it's just a process. Have fun with it. However you want to do it, this is yours. You're going to find some of the journals, some of these pages in your journals that you're just going to want to tear up and use to create other pieces. I usually do that a lot with the cardstock. And I do have a real thick piece of paper here. Let's go ahead and do that one. This thinner typing paper, you got to be careful with that when it's fully saturated, and that way it has time to dry before you rip it accidentally. And I hope y'all are all planning your next project, and if you haven't used the age look or the tea dyeing the staining, again, the age look is just when you cover it completely and take it out. Whereas the tea dye and the staining, it's kind of where we leave it a little bit blotchy. As you can see, this one is blotchy on both sides. And it's just a fun, messy project. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. The only wrong about it is if you don't do it. Do it, have some fun. Make that next journal. And I've got enough papers out here that I'm actually going to put in a series of 3 journals that I hope to have you on the journey with me. And you can see how I'm using these combined with other book pages. Normally I do take my music sheets and I will run those through the printer, and then I will stain them up as well because I do like the music sheets having that aged look. We're going to overlap some, and again, like I told you, we're going to do some of those envelopes. And the envelopes are going to look real bad at first, but when they dry, and you want to dry them open, they're going to have that beautiful aged look on them as well. And the wrinkle that comes from it, any little crevice, wrinkle, that is all part of the fun. And when you dry them on top of each other, it just gives them an additional little aged, messy, grungy look. And let's play with one of these, shall we? Since it decided it's going to fall down on me, let's take that leaf and just press it down here. And it doesn't really show up the leaf, but it will with the markers, because I have that upcoming as well. I'm going to show you where I use some fresh leaves, and we are going to make those impressions on the paper as well. I love this. I have lots of fun. I hope you do too. Thanks for coming along with me on my journey today. I do have just a couple more pieces, and then I'm going to ask you, have fun, make a night of it, do something creative every single day. Again, where Wendy creates, where Wendy travels, I have something very special still in line for you. But right now, if you would, go to the bottom of your screen where it says like and subscribe, that little thumbs up and that word subscribe. Please like, please subscribe. I would love to have you with me in my future journeys. And this is my surprise that I told you I was going to have. And it is the thickest of the cardstock. It's actually a watercolor paper, so it's going to hold the texture a little bit differently. So this one is going to be so exciting when you see it dry. So stay tuned for more. I've got more exciting shows coming right up. So again, subscribe, mark it to where you see my videos as they come up, and that way you don't miss any of my exciting journey. And if you really want to have fun, go binge some of the old ones. If you like to travel, I do too. We have lots of travel videos as well. Thank you. Have a great day.